Do you know that it is not everybody that you date that you will marry? Because compatibility is different from chemistry. My name is Okoro Blessing in Kiruka, and I'm popularly known as Blessing CEO, Africa's certified relationship and mental expert. I'm sorry to break your heart, but do you know that it's not all your boyfriends and your girlfriends that will take you to the altar? The earlier a lot of you begin to have this understanding, the better for you. Because people love you don't mean that they're going to marry you. People can love you so much and still not marry you. Because there are some times you are in love with people but you cannot stay with them. What is chemistry? Chemistry is connectivity. You see a girl, you see a guy, you like the person. Oh, they are so beautiful, you're attracted to them, but you are not compatible. What is compatibility? You cannot stay with them. You can't have conversations with them. There is nothing to talk about. Every of your conversation is leading to a fight. You guys cannot come into a common ground. You guys do not share the same value, the same ideology. You guys don't have the same direction, because oftentimes what make people lack compatibility is the fact that they don't share the same value system. If you're saying A, she's saying B. If you're saying B, she's saying C. So there is no common grounds. For every time you guys want to have a conversation, it leads to a fight. So it's now as if everybody is avoiding one another. You don't want to talk because you don't want to fight. She doesn't want to talk because she doesn't want to fight. It makes everybody begin to keep quiet in the relationship and marriage. That's where there begin to be loopholes. I don't want to offend him. I don't want to offend her. Everybody begins to walk on eggshells. That is the meaning of compatibility. Oftentimes, the only thing that connects you and the person is chemistry, which is sex. There are so many relationships that the only thing connecting the both of you is just sex. Without sex, the relationship is broken. Sex. What a lot of you do in your relationship is just sex. And this is what happens when you have sex with people. You guys just have what is called chemistry. There's no compatibility, because you will realize that after the sexual intercourse, there is nothing to talk about. Whenever you guys want to have a conversation, there's an argument. It simply means you people don't have common grounds. And this happens oftentimes when people don't share the same value system, when people are not going to the same destination. When you are saying A, she's saying B. Yes, and that's why I always advise people, we need to be able to look beyond sexual intercourse when we want to get married, when we want to take it to the next level, because you cannot stay married to somebody you are not compatible with. It's going to be difficult, because in marriage, we do more of conversation than sexual intercourse. We have 24 hours in a day, and you cannot make out for 24 hours. The rest of the time, you're going to be talking, you're going to be strategizing. Yes, so that's the meaning of compatibility and chemistry. Oftentimes you see most people tell you, oh, marry someone that is from your village, marry someone that is from this place. Is because of compatibility. You see that oftentimes when you get married to someone that is from your village, there's something to gist about. Oh, in those days, where is your place? You can gist about your elders. When you marry someone that is going to the same school with you, there's something to talk about. Oh, that lecturer. You people must share common grounds. It makes conversation easier. It makes communication easier. But when you go and marry somebody you are just in love with, you might not even be able to come to your house. Yes, love is not enough when it comes to relationship and marriage. Marriage especially. Love is not enough. If you say you are in love with people and you cannot talk to them, you guys cannot sit down and have common grounds, misunderstand one another and understand one another, then marriage is going to be difficult. This is one major mistake a lot of us make. We just want, I'm in love with him, I'm in love with him, I'm in love, I don't care. Then as soon as you get into the marriage, you're telling yourself, my husband has changed, my wife has changed. No, they did not change. You just ignored compatibility. You know that you and this man cannot have a common conversation. You know that this man does not want to talk to you. Because oftentimes people come and tell me, blessed see you, my husband does not want to talk. My husband is not a talking type. That's a lie. Everybody is a talking type. But they are not talking to you because they are not compatible with you. Compatibility also comes when people are relaxed with you. When you make them feel comfortable around you, they can tell you anything. Yes, so a lot of people just like you, but they don't trust you enough to have those conversations with you because they feel you might not be able to handle it. There are some women and some men that cannot handle conversations. When you want to tell them things about you, they turn it into an argument or they turn it into a fight. Some of them, when you tell them things about you, they use it against you. Some people are not mature enough to be able to handle strong conversations. That's where compatibility comes in. So that's where you see your spouses begin to hide. They don't want to talk. They are quiet. Quiet. Everybody will just be quiet. Oftentimes, people are not quiet. They are not quiet because they don't have anything to say. Some people are actually quiet because they want to avoid a fight. Yes, because a lot of people will always tell me, Blessing, see you, if I talk now, my wife will start nagging. If I talk now, my husband will get angry. So some people are not keeping quiet because they don't have anything to say. Some of them are keeping quiet because a lot of you do not know how to handle conversations. You're not compatible. People cannot tell you, oh, baby, what you're doing is wrong. No matter how they say it, you pick a fight. So first of all, compatibility is something you need to intentionally build in yourself. You must learn how to pay attention. You must learn how to listen. You must learn where people are coming from. That's the meaning of compatibility. You pay attention and understand where he's coming from. You understand where she's coming from. But some of you are very good in misunderstanding people. Before somebody says A, you have twisted it and say, oh, so it's because, so you see some people will just keep you quiet. And when you cannot communicate in your marriage, then that's slavery. That's when you see a lot of men begin to go outside. They are looking for peace of mind outside. I've said it oftentimes. Stop being afraid of the woman that your husband is having sexual intercourse with. Be afraid of the woman that your husband is communicating with. That woman that can sit your husband down and talk to you. That woman that your husband can tell everything. That's the woman you should be scared of. That's compatibility. That's why you see that when there's a small misunderstanding, your husband will pick up his car key and drive to her house. That's what men call peace. Peace of mind simply means, who am I compatible with? Peace of mind simply means going home and having valid conversation. Peace of mind simply means I can tell my wife, I can tell my husband something and they can understand. Some people can't communicate with their spouses. Every communication is a fight because their spouses have a way of misunderstanding everything that they say. So you need to pay attention to compatibility. Compatibility and chemistry is not the same thing. I love you, I love you, I love you doesn't mean I want to marry you. People can love you so much and still not marry you because people are not compatible. It's like when we come to genotype. You are AS and you marry someone that is AS. If you're not financially buoyant, it is always advised that you look for somebody who is AA to avoid, having a sickle cell child, bringing a child into this world and putting a child through stress, putting your family through stress, because it could be stressful to have a sickle cell child. It can be avoided, right? But if you have the financial backing, you could do the necessary things, take away the bone marrow and all not word. But it can be avoided. It's part of compatibility. It's like, oh, I know I cannot have conversation with this person. No, each time I have a conversation with this person, it always leads to a fight. Avoid it. It's not something you say, I love the person. Love is not enough when it comes to marriage. Love cannot cover communication. Love can never cover communication. Anybody that is telling you, I love you, and I'm not talking to you does not love you. It's only when you can talk. That is when you can resolve anything in your marriage. So let us stop deceiving ourselves when we want to make those life decisions. I know you are in love. I know you love the guy. I know you love the girl. She tickles your fancy. She drives you crazy. But that's not what you're going to do in marriage. Marriage comes with responsibility. And when you begin to carry responsibility, your thought process begins to change. When you want to get married, you're not getting married because of all those illusions, because of sex, because her bum bum is big, because he has a big manhood. That's not what you're looking at in marriage. Because by the time you get married, all those things become a myth. Because by then, in marriage, that's where you face real life issues. That's where you are bringing somebody else. You're having children, you have extended family. There are more reality for you to look out for in marriages than in relationship. That's why when you're getting married, you have to be calculative. You think and say, no, this is not what I'm going, because it's a long term. When you are having a long-term plan, you're not thinking about now. You're thinking about later. And oftentimes, when you want to get married, you need to be able to make decisions that is going to affect your future. Yes. Because you are bringing people into this world. So you need to consider your children too. You need to consider your extended family. You need to consider your mother that groomed you, your father that groomed you. Because before you came and married this man, there were people in his life that groomed him to become the man that he is. Before you married this woman, there were people in their lives that groomed them. So you cannot just say you're coming into their life and you want to throw away every other person that has been in their life. It doesn't work that way. So that's the responsibility that comes in marriage, because you're going to be considering a lot of people. Marriage is not about, I love him, I love him. All those ones are just sham. By the time you get into the marriage, you understand that it's not about, I love him. Reality begins to dawn on you. That's why a lot of young people get into marriage and they're like, I was not informed. Now you are informed, and that's the reason why Blessing CEO is always here to inform you, to pre-inform you, so that you can begin to change your thought process. And the problem is a lot of you don't know what to look out in a relationship, and this is the reason why I always try as much as possible to educate you on my channel. You don't know what to look out for in a relationship. That's the reason why when you get into that relationship, you're making mistakes. So these are the things you should look out for. Once you're in a relationship and you cannot have valid conversation with these people, every of your conversation leads to an argument. It's a powerful red flag. The marriage will not fly. You are going to be miserable in that marriage. Very miserable in that marriage, because you will not be able to express yourself. Communication gives you the room to express yourself, to be able to tell people, baby, I'm not happy with this thing you did. Okay, what is it? You express yourself. When you express yourself, you are relieved, you are better. Some of you are carrying burdens in your heart. All you need to do is talk about it. When you talk about it, you are relieved. But because you don't have a spouse that want to listen to you, every time you want to talk, your husband say you are nagging. Every time you want to talk, your wife say you are not a man. So it makes you go into your shell. The things you're supposed to talk about, you don't. And marriage is supposed to be to talk about. I'm supposed to go back. I'm supposed to go to work and come back to my wife and be able to share what happened at work with my wife. The same thing with my husband. The moment I lose that expression, then the marriage is dead. Dead, dead, dead. That is the reason why a lot of people are so miserable in marriage. Many people are miserable in marriage because they marry people that they cannot talk to. They marry people when you see a woman saying, I'm unhappy in marriage, it simply means she has so many things bottled up inside and there's nobody to talk to. Yet she has a husband. You see some men saying, I'm unhappy. He has so many things bottled inside, but he has a wife. That's when you begin to see people, the people begin to look outside. Oftentimes, people go out to cheat. They are not looking for who to sleep with. They are looking for who to talk to. It is from communication that cheating starts. You're looking for that person that will understand you, that person you will explain. So it's that person that understands you, that person that accepts, that person that gives you a listening ear. That is where sex comes in. People don't just go out and open their legs for people. It doesn't work that way. You know, when people are telling this infidelity story, they used to start from the end. They don't start from the beginning. The infidelity always starts from a conversation. That person that is listening to you, that person that is hearing you out, is the person you might bound to want to be unfaithful with your spouses too. So I always advise a lot of people, pay attention to that woman that you say she's always nagging, that man that you say is always nagging. There is something they are saying. If you do not listen to people, they are bound to go outside to go and look for help. They did not have the intention of sleeping with anybody. It wasn't sex at the first time. It was just someone to just understand me. And when people pay attention to you, listen to your problem, you are going to assume that they love you. It's only natural. You begin to see yourself, you begin to draw closer to them. And from closer to them, you get intimate and get into situations that you cannot control. This cheating and cheating and cheating we keep hearing about, it starts from a simple conversation, a simple expression. Somebody that allows you to be who you are, somebody that allows you to cry to them, somebody that allows you to talk to them. You are bound to have sexual intercourse with that person. I am telling you the honest truth. So that's the reason why we need to look out for this thing. It doesn't just have to be about, I love him, I love him, I love him. The question is, those people that you say you love, are you with them? Do what makes you happy, do what makes you happy. Are you happy? If you actually want to be happy, your happiness have to be calculative. Your happiness have to be long-term. Do what makes you happy, do what makes you happy. You cannot just say, oh, I want to buy this thing now, it's going to make me happy. You cannot bankrupt yourself just because this powder is going to make you happy, or just because this lip gloss is being sold for 20,000 naira and you have 25,000 naira in your account. You say, oh, this lip gloss is going to make me happy, and you keep 5,000 naira. It's foolishness, because this lip gloss is not an investment. It's not going to make you happy, because the moment you buy this lip gloss now, it dies. This lip gloss is only going to make you excited. We must be able to differentiate between excitement and happiness. Oftentimes, all those things we are saying, it will make me happy. It doesn't make you happy. It makes you excited. Excitement is short-term. Happiness is long-term. And decision that you make spontaneously cannot make you happy. Yeah. So we need to be able to understand that there's a difference between excitement and happiness. It's not everything you are saying makes you happy actually makes you happy. Some of these things just makes you excited. Anything that is short-term is excitement. Anything that is long-term is happiness. So for you to be happy, you must be calculative. You must be strategic. You know, happiness is like investment. It's like investing your 200,000 now to buy a land, right? When you are investing that 200,000, you're not even happy when you are doing it. Because at that point, for you to invest, you need to at least make yourself uncomfortable for that period, understanding that it's going to yield interest in the future. Imagine buying a land of 200,000 now. In the next 7 years, you sell that same land for 200 million. That is the meaning of happiness. So oftentimes those things you are saying makes you happy. It doesn't make you happy. It just makes you excited. Most of those things you said, I want to do it to make me happy. Are you happy? You're not happy. At the end of the day, those things you thought that was going to make you happy is what is causing you pain and anguish and bitterness. Those temporal things you wanted to do sharp. Oh, I love him. I love him. I love him. That same guy you love now is the one that is giving you headache. Is the one that is making you miserable. It's because most times we don't think. So most times what we feel is excitement. It's not love. Love is calculative. Love is futuristic. Love is long term. Anything that you want to last, you must think it through. You must reason. Love do not just happen. Sometimes I like when people tell me, oh, love just happened, you fall in love. There is no biometric to love. There is nothing to love. Love does not have any formula. All those things are for people, young people who just want to do what they like. When people want to do what they like, they will look for things to coin it. They find words that is going to suit them. Then when they make mistakes, they forget that they said that thing was going to make them happy. I'm asking you, a lot of things you thought was going to make you happy and you did it. Are you happy? Those things you even thought were going to make you happy is what has kept you miserable till today. Because we don't want to think. We just want to do things that we like. Forgetting that when we do anything we like actually have consequences. So that's the reason why we have to think it through, especially when we are going into marriage, because marriage is a long term. And don't forget, I said you are bringing people into that. You're going to be dragging a lot of people into this marriage, your family members. So it's no longer about you. You cannot be saying it's about me. My marriage is about me. I'll do what makes me happy so long as I love him. But when there's a fight, when there's a quarrel, when there's a divorce, your parents are involved. It is your father's house you're going to run to. It is your mother's house you're going to run to. But then you were saying, so it's not about you. You need to be strategic. You need to think long term. You need to make yourself uncomfortable. You need to be able to grow yourself maturely and know that at the long run, this thing might not excite me again. Because as you grow and as you evolve, what you used to want as a child is not what you're going to want as an adult. That's why oftentimes it looks as if in relationship and marriage, I changed, he changed. Nobody changed. We grew. It is growth that makes us begin to want different things. Most of the things that you people say you want is just desire. And as you grow, your desire change. Yes, what you used to want when you're in your 20s, when you get to your 30s, you don't want it again. When you get to 35, you don't want it again. Exactly. That's why it looks as if you be saying, oh, my boyfriend was like this, my husband used to be like this. It's because everybody's growing. So you must be calculative enough to be able to think above, like think the future. But am I going to need this thing in the next few years? Is this thing going to excite me in different years to come? That is where regret comes in. So you must be able to separate compatibility. Compatibility is long term, where you begin to look at the future. Okay. Chemistry, short term. Chemistry is that I love you. He's good in bed. He's sweet. She has big bum. She has fine face. Over time, all those things are going to shrink. If it is big bum you're looking at, over time, that bum, it will become flesh to you. Do you understand? That woman that is too fine, her face will begin to shrink long term. That's the reason why you need to love people for their content, not their container. Because container will always get old, but content is the content. It's just like Coca-Cola, it's just like Fanta. Fanta is still Fanta. Coca-Cola is still Coca-Cola, but they keep changing the bottle. Remember, it is the content we are interested in. The content never dies, but container can die. So that is what you should focus on when you're getting married. Persona, personality, future, not physical appearance. These days, anybody can be fine. Anybody can be what they want to be if you have money. You can transform yourself. But you cannot transform what is. What you don't know is what you don't know. Money cannot buy that one. Common sense. So these are the things you need to pay attention to when you say you want to settle down. Focus more on compatibility. Leave chemistry. We can always love anybody. So long as people are nice to us, so long as people are kind to us, we are going to love them. There are some people you didn't used to love before. But when you paid attention to them, you started saying, this girl is fine. Some of you didn't used to like Blessing see you before. Maybe you just saw me somewhere and you had a perception about me. But when you began to pay attention to me, when you started watching my videos, you sit down for 10, 15, 20 minutes and watch Blessing see you. You started saying, this woman is intelligent too. Your perception about me changed. You began to love me. But you didn't used to love me before. It simply means that love grows. Oftentimes you don't love people is because you have not paid attention to them. You are distracted. If you pay attention to people, no matter what they look, you will love them. Because when you pay attention to people, you see the good in them. A lot of you don't see the good in people because you don't pay attention. You only see their beauty. You only see their flashy clothes. But when you pay attention to people, you begin to see the things. Wow, this woman is nice. This woman is intense. This woman is good. Depth. You must learn to marry depth, not surface. Surface will always die. Depth never dies. So that is what you should look out for when you get married. Depth. So I hope I've been able to teach you the difference between compatibility and chemistry. And I hope that if you ever come across this video, it will change your mindset. It will help you unlearn and relearn. That's my job, to be able to help you unlearn and relearn, to have a better relationship and marriage. Oftentimes, marriage is sweet, relationship is sweet. The only problem we have is our choices and our mindset. A lot of us have the wrong mindset about relationship and marriage. Anyway, I don't blame you, my darling. A lot of us, how many people actually taught us? Most of us grew with our upbringing, our environment, and the things that we learned from our parents. Exactly. So we are who we are. So that's why it's always good for you to open your mind. Invite your friends to watch Blessing CEO's channel. There are lots of things I can teach you. My darling, I was not born with all these experiences and wisdom. I learned it over time. Guess what? I made so many mistakes in my life to be able to acquire this wisdom and this experience. I don't want you to make the mistake. A smart person will always learn from people who have made mistakes and survive it. And that's why I'm bold enough to teach you. I want you to learn, because it's not everybody that make mistake that will survive it. So that's why I'm here to share my knowledge with you guys 24 hours, to teach you about the beautiful part of relationship and marriage. Relationship and marriage is beautiful, but a lot of you do not understand the strategy on how to follow it. Yes, relationship and marriage has formula. Anybody that is telling you that relationship and marriage does not have formula, don't mind all those ones. They don't even know what they are going there to do. The same way God gave us our 10 commandments to follow is the same way relationship and marriage have a 10 commandments you have to follow. There is a formula to relationship and marriage. So you have to pay attention, okay? Stop using self-deceit just because you want to enjoy a temporal chemistry and affection. He said relationship and marriage does not have formula. It has formula. You have to follow the formulas of relationship and marriage, which is focus, which is paying attention, which is being calculative, which is being depth, and being alone. You have to be able to think at the long term, futuristic. If you want to invest your life in somebody, you need to be strategic about it. You will not just wake up one day and go and give your life to somebody that is going to kill you along the way. So that's the reason why when you want to get married, you use your head, not your heart. So with this viewpoint of mine, I hope you were able to learn something from this video. Thank you so much for always watching my YouTube channel, guys. Please tell your friend to tell a friend to subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a lot to learn here. Don't forget to also call the number in case you want to make an inquiry or you want to have personal sessions with Blessing CEO, 070-195-11795. You can also send us an email. God bless all of you. You know I got you, and you know I love you. You already know that. I tell you guys this almost every time I come on my live. I love you.